I am now live. I'm back alive. I'm back alive. I really, really believe that trying and giving our best effort and rinsing and repeating and trying again is the best way to improve in life, to get better, to perfect your craft, if you want to call it a craft. Not worrying ourselves too much about failing or not doing crappy job or sucking at something. Or, if you want to learn how to play the guitar, it's probably best to, maybe have some lessons or whatever, but you got to pick up a guitar at some point. And I enjoy doing these videos. I enjoy hopping on live, and I enjoy kind of brainstorming and working through some thoughts and thinking about some things. And I just went live about 20 minutes, not even 20 minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago. And I'm coming at you from the gates of Yellowstone National Park. And I am right outside Yellowstone, the North Gate, in a little town called Gardner, Montana. And behind me, you can see the Roosevelt Arch, which is just a beautiful, beautiful arch, kind of in a desolate area right on this vast, natural, beautiful area that is Yellowstone. But I had something on my mind, and it wasn't the beauty that is Yellowstone or the scenery or the pretty flowers or the sun setting. It was honestly, I've been over the last couple, probably 3 months, been really kicking around the idea of purchasing a RV. And I don't know, I think when I talk through things live, I think it helps me kind of process some information and some stuff. I'm going to turn around, though. I'm going to turn around. I'm bored of that gate. Let's go this way. Again, see, I get distracted. Maybe we'll get the sun setting. We'll get the sky going. Maybe the lighting will be better. That's Yellowstone behind me, by the way. So, but anyway, over the last several months, I've been contemplating buying an RV. And I kind of wanted to talk it through. Because, again, I think that's the way it helps me come up with some thoughts and ideas and answers. And there's a bunch of different RV options out there, and this might be boring for anyone that doesn't care. But if you don't care, you can change the channel, so I'm going to talk freely. There's an A-class RV, which is usually one of the big ones, and it kind of looks like a bus. It's usually got a flat face. And it's too expensive and too big for my needs. I'm a twice divorced dad who's currently living in Yellowstone and working in Yellowstone and working as a waiter in Yellowstone and making some kind of decent money considering, and have really low-cost housing and room and board available to me. Because, again, I'm working and living in Yellowstone. And it's neat, but I do know that the time is ticking, and the time goes pretty fast, and that my contract will be up at in mid-October, and that I'm going to need to go somewhere. And I would like to have somewhere to go that I'd be excited about and I could afford, and I could move forward with life in a way that would enable me to be with my kids as much as possible and see some cool things and continue to pay my bills and cover my responsibilities and keep a roof over my head. So it's got me thinking about the RV. And again, there's the A-class RV, which is too big for my needs and too expensive for my budget. There's a C-class RV, which is what I was leaning towards for most of the last several months. And it kind of looks like a pickup truck. Speaking of pickup truck, with a, kind of casing a little home built around it, and it's probably what most people think of when they think of RVs and motorhomes. And that's got a lot of advantages, in that it's out of the three A, B, and C types, probably the lowest cost entry point. But I'm again, twice divorced guy. I'm 55 years old. I would like the mobility that comes with maybe a smaller vehicle. And as a single guy, I don't have a ton of needs in terms of space. So that kind of has me leaning towards what's called a B class, or a conversion van RV. And there's three main types of that. There's a Mercedes Sprinter van. There is a Ram ProMaster conversion van. And there's also the Ford Transit van. And all three of them, I see, I can see a couple sitting over there. And it's hard not thinking about them when they're driving all over, and how excited I'd be to have one. And but the similarity, they're very similar. And I saw one last night. I went and saw one that was for sale in my parking lot where I'm working. And it was interesting to me because it was a Ram ProMaster. It was a 2019, so it was a 5-year-old van. The guy bought it new. He'd driven it 200,000 miles in the last 4 or 5 years. He had stickers on the window from all these national parks and parks he'd visited. It looked very well loved. But when I saw the inside, it just wasn't what I was looking for. He had all these fancy solar panels on the top and all this impressive wiring, but I looked at what he was using his electricity, the solar power for, and it just wasn't useful to me. He had a little refrigerator, a little hot pad or hot cooking mechanism, and a little kind of toaster oven, if you will. And none of those things really I felt that important. And the only thing that really drew me to this van, A, was the price. He was asking 10 grand, and B, was the queen size bed he had in it. And to be honest, I thought probably half the price, the 10 grand he was asking, was due to the solar capabilities of the van. And he wasn't using those, all that power. And I kind of realized that I didn't need any of the appliances he had. Push come to shove, I could just pop a cooler with some ice, and that could be my fridge. And I could figure out food and what have you. I just didn't see me sitting inside a van, huddling next to a hot pad, cooking ramen noodles or mac and cheese and eating that for dinner. I just didn't see that being me. So my choice was either I get a more loaded, fixed up, set up, more ready to go van with all the bells and whistles, maybe a bathroom, a shower, a little kitchenette, place for a bed, what have you, or go the other way and go bare minimum and just get a basic van that's not converted and throw a, queen size mattress in the back and live on that until I figure out or have the budget or know what I want or what have you a little more clearly. And, I'm kind of torn. So when I'm torn, I was doing a little research. I was hanging out in the coffee shop here in Gardner, Montana, doing some research, and my head was spinning, and I was studying about the advantages and disadvantages of the Sprinter by Mercedes, the Ford Transit, and the Ram ProMaster. And I couldn't even decide, budget aside, which would be the best way to go. Got to have a hookup with shower and water. Yeah, but that's hard to do in these. They're small. I asked him about showering, and he explained to me how the guy that was selling the van, he explained to me how he sets up something outside and heats up water on his hot pad and uses a hose and sprays himself off. And that sounded a little primitive for me and didn't sound like it would work for me in any sort of long-term way. Before I did that, I just joined Planet Fitness and go to RV parks or campgrounds and just shower there. And a lot of what he had, I just didn't think I'd use. And again, a lot of the price, even the 10 grand, because his van had 200,000 miles on it, I think was in those solar panels and all the wiring he had up top. And just didn't make much sense to me. So I was looking at these three choices. And right now, I think a leading candidate for me would be probably to buy either the Ram ProMaster or the Ford Transit. Get it a few years old. Get it with, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and maybe 50,000 miles on it. And either do the conversion myself or go or have it done for me and have it done the way I want and have it, probably having lady friends stay over in a van. Yeah, but Casey General, I'm not really worried about having lady friends stay over. I've had lots of lady friends staying over, and I'm 55. I have different priorities now than I did when I was 25, and different needs and different wants and different budgets and, again, just different dreams. And I care so little about having lady friends stay over. And I get people asking that all the time. I'm twice divorced, and I've had plenty of relationships, and I don't know, just don't care that much about that anymore. Eventually, I'd probably care more about it, but right now that's not a priority for me. My priority is taking that next step and starting to develop a plan for what's going to come in October. And October's coming up soon. And again, just doing the research, and YouTube's a great resource, but it gives you so many choices and so many options and so much information. Yeah, it can kind of fog the brain a little bit, if you will. And I was sitting there, I'd had 3 cups of coffee, and I was facing a little bit of brain fog, and not sure if I had all the money in the world what I would do. And I hate that feeling. So I was riding my scooter. The sun was starting to set. I thought it was a pretty little, I don't know, setting. And I don't know, just thought I'd hop on live before it got too dark. And I rode back up the hill and spent my Thursday night back up at Mammoth Hot Springs. But again, time goes quickly, and I've already been here. It'll be, I think 5 weeks tomorrow that I pulled in to Yellowstone on my scooter. And before I know it, it's going to be August, and then it's going to be October, and the weather's going to be changing, and my only vehicle's going to be my scooter, and the snow's going to be falling. And people were drinking coffee at dinner. Do I drink coffee during the day? I certainly drink coffee during the day. I am waiting tables, and yeah, caffeine doesn't really affect me anymore. I'm a guy with a coffee show, and caffeine doesn't really affect me. I just had 3 cups tonight, and I'll be able to fall asleep probably not too long after I put my head on the pillow tonight. I'm looking forward to getting a good night's sleep. I've been working really hard this last week. I've been working really hard this last month, doing what I had to do for myself and my family, honestly. And part of taking care of my family is getting myself situated and taken care of as well. And I've talked about it before. As a twice divorced guy, you have a lot of financial responsibilities, and it's hard to take care of them if you're struggling taking care of yourself. And they say on an airplane, when the masks come down, you got to put on a mask on yourself before you put it on your kids. And I feel that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm at a position where, again, I can take care of my kids as best I can financially, but I got to get Dad taken care of as well. And I can't just be taken care of till October. I've got to start working on a plan for the coming months and the coming years. And I think a big step in that would be getting some stability and knowing I'm going to be okay in the winter, and knowing I can drive, because riding a scooter is awesome in Yellowstone in the summer. But again, time's going to go quickly. Put your logo on it and sell coffee out of it. Patrick says, why don't you get a van, put your logo on it, and sell coffee out of it? It's funny, I don't want to sell coffee. That's not what I do. I drink coffee. a lot of people, and again, I have companies reaching out occasionally to put my own logo, sell my own coffee brand. And I could do that, but I don't want to be a merchandiser or a retailer or a coffee shop. Um, I think God blessed me with certain gifts, and I think God has blessed us all with certain gifts. And for me, I think I'm pretty good at talking, and uh, fairly good at social media, and fairly good at had a lot of life experiences. And I think coming to Yellowstone was meant to happen for me and meant to give me some different experiences and some different perspectives and different work situations and meet different people and be in a different place. And it's working out real well for me. But again, I'm 55 years old. I don't want to wait tables forever. Get a van and then drive from epic location to epic location and do the same thing you're doing in rotating amazing locations. It's interesting you say that. My show grows quicker when I'm sitting on a couch talking about sobriety or talking about mental health or talking about relationships or talking about financial highs and lows or the stock market or real estate. I thought by driving out to Yellowstone that my social media would explode, because anytime I wanted, I could pick up the phone and go like that and go, hey, look at the pretty sunset, look at the pretty mountains in the distance. But I think what I've found is a lot of people can do that. A lot of people can come to Yellowstone and pick up the phone and show you pretty scenery. But I think what is important, what the power of Coffee with Ken comes from, my own personal life experiences, B, two fingers, my ability to talk and share and tell stories that resonates with an audience, and C, probably most importantly, is my determination and consistency to keep going when you don't even see a light at the end of the tunnel. I've been doing Coffee with Ken for 5 years now. And again, there's been hard 5 years. I've gotten married. I've gotten divorced. I've had 2 beautiful children. I've gone through the pain of divorce court. I've had big months selling a ton of real estate. I've had really hard months when I left the business and I was working at a super target, and everything in between. I've had a lot of highs and lows, and I'd like to smooth that out a little bit. And to do that, I need to kind of work towards the future again. And I am, and I talk about it a lot. And maybe I'm focusing too much on the future right now. But I was just sitting in this coffee shop debating RVs and debating plans and thinking about October when we're still in June. And I think God's going to open up a path for me, and my decisions are going to be made clear for me as summer goes on and the months move forward. And yeah, you're asking about the presidential debate. I'll tell you, I watched. Okay. I don't like to talk politics on the show, but I watched, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago, Trump and Biden debating, and it was the biggest waste of an hour of my life I've ever seen. I was embarrassed for both candidates, to be honest with you. I was expecting Trump to be a good debater and really run circles around Biden, but he looked like a bully in a schoolyard and disappointed me, and I think I lost the election that night, and was disappointed in him as a candidate because I was hoping he'd knock the cover off the ball, but he embarrassed himself honestly by just trying to talk over Biden and not. I don't know. He lost my respect as a politician on that night. I still ended up voting for him, if anybody cares, because I wouldn't vote for Biden. But again, I lost respect for Trump as a candidate. and he came out kind of looking like a buffoon a little bit as well. Biden didn't look great, but given that, I thought Trump should have really been able to run circles around him verbally, and he didn't. All he did was try and talk over him, and I was disappointed in him. So, hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Nice night for a walk, isn't it?
It's a hell of a night.
Yeah. But that's my thought about the debates. And again, part of me, I stopped watching the news. It's funny, I titled this live show RV Talk or something like that. And it's hard to keep the conversation, I guess, on RVs because other subjects come up. But for me right now, the thing I'm most excited about is getting my housing situated and getting my transportation situated and getting back and seeing my little boy and my little girl because I FaceTime with them every day, and my little girl's starting to talk and getting bigger, and Augie's my little nugget of love. And as good as this experience is for me, it's really hard being away from them, and I'd like to get back to them just as soon as possible. And I think me getting my housing situation is one of the key components for that to happen. I got to keep working. I got to keep my nose to the grindstone. I got to keep a good attitude. I got to keep plugging away, working 40-plus hours a week, waiting tables, and keep saving money, keep paying money to my financial obligations, and keep moving forward. But honestly, sometimes it gets tough, and sometimes it gets lonely, and sometimes it gets hard, even in one of the prettiest places in the world. And I'm doing what I need to do right now, but I'm also keeping one eye on the future. And I think for me, something's going to open up. And maybe all the information and all the brain fog I was feeling, drinking my coffee and reading or studying all this stuff on these various RV options I have might be premature, and maybe that's the message that I'm getting, because I don't have enough information. I don't even have enough money to buy them right now, but I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm starting to have a vision, and I'm starting to be excited, and I'm starting to go to bed thinking about cool stuff I can see and do and get back to my kids. And that's where I'm at. And I'm coming at you from Yellowstone. And I don't know what else I have for you. And I don't know if any of this made sense to you, or I don't know if any of you care anything about this, but it's okay. Because I think too many people out there, and I said this before, create art or content or music or whatever for an audience. And at the core of it all, you got to do it for yourself first. And And if you do it for yourself, you'll be able to do a Coffee with Ken show even on those months and years when you don't want to, or you're not feeling it, or you'll be able to pick up the guitar and strum the guitar because you love it, or you'll be able to sit down at with a paint and in front of an easel and paint a pretty picture because you're going to want to do it for you. And I think if you do it for you first, because you love to do it, or because you need to do it, or because you're looking to express something, you're going to be at it long enough to be successful at it and get real good at it. And so it's Thursday night. It's 8:22. The sun is setting on beautiful Yellowstone and beautiful Gardner, Montana, and beautiful Montana-Wyoming border. And wildlife's going to be coming out soon. And hello there, Sean. How are you? I don't know. Just kind of wanted to brainstorm with you a little bit and get some silly little random bits of information out of my brain and out of my mouth and out of my body about life and about RVs and about my kids and about Wyoming and about national parks and about Yellowstone and about moving forward. So, yeah. Looks beautiful there. Well, I'll stand up and give you 360 tour. It is beautiful here. Oh, my right foot fell asleep. If I fall over, it's your guys' fault. Sun is shining. Yeah, really pretty place. And again, in a little bit, the sun's going to be setting just in the mountains behind me. But yeah, really beautiful place. The sky is beautiful and the air is crisp and the wind is blowing. And I am fortunate to be here. And I'm fortunate to have 2.5 days off. And I'm fortunate to have a scooter that's going to ride me back up the hill and take me where I need to go. And I want to thank you so much for joining on this Thursday night. I appreciate you for hopping on and following my story. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.